Hello, my name is Douglas Pinkham with Pinkham and Associates. We are a dedicated family law and divorce firm here in Orange County, California. I get a lot of questions from existing clients or potential new clients or through the website, and I respond to those questions. However, I started to think that it might be a good idea to put the responses and the answers to some of these questions in video form for the benefit of all of you folks out there. One of the questions I get, and I've received quite a few times, is what if I want to pay support on my own or voluntary support before a divorce is even filed, or after a divorce is filed or legal separation is filed, but before there's any court orders to actually force me to pay or to force the other party to pay me. Pretty straightforward. If there is no court order, well, let me preface that even by saying if there's no divorce or legal separation case or a support case filed, then there obviously cannot be a court order for support, either child support or spousal support. So let's say there is no court order for child and spousal support, but you either want to receive it or you want to pay it. You can. You absolutely can. You and your spouse or domestic partner can absolutely agree to some support before there's a court order to actually pay support. Now, that could lead to other questions and other issues of which I'd like to mention a few. So let's say, for example, you agree to pay your spouse or your domestic partner some amount of support before a divorce is filed, a legal separation is filed, a domestic partnership dissolution is filed, or before or after a divorce is filed, but before a court order is made. Let's say you two agree that you're going to pay $1,000 a month, and you pay that $1,000 a month in support, either child support or spousal support or a combination thereof. It doesn't matter. Let's say you agree to pay this $1,000 a month, and you pay this $1,000 a month for 12 months. Then let's say you go to court after that because one or both of you think that that support order is the wrong amount. Now you're buried into the divorce a little deeper, and you want to make court orders or temporary orders for support or permanent orders for support. And let's say, for example, the proper amount of support should have only been $500 a month. You're never going to get credit for or a rebate or a refund for any support that you paid in over what you should have been paying had you got a court order back in time. Conversely, or additionally, if you go to court later and the proper amount of support should have been really $500 this whole time, and you want to fight to say, I only want to pay $500, or worse, you want to say, I can only afford $500 a month, you're going to run into a little bit of difficulty with that particular argument because you've been paying $1,000 a month for a year. So it can be a little touch and go, a little sticky if you agree to a support order that is more than you want. The converse is true. Let's say a year ago you guys agreed that you would pay $500 a month. But let's say a year down the road, your spouse goes to court and says, hey, I want a court order for spousal support now, and the proper amount is $1,000 a month. Well, the spouse that never filed for a court order during that entire year and was only receiving $500 a month is not going to get a lump sum for the extra $6,000 for the $500 a month for a year that they weren't getting because they didn't file for a court order. You can only collect under a court order. Sorry about that. You can only collect on a court order for child support after there's a court order in place. So let's say, for example, now you're at court. The proper amount is $1,000 a month. Keep in mind that your spouse is going to say, I can't afford $1,000 a month. I've only been paying $500. And in addition to that, she or the receiving spouse, and I do apologize for that sexist assumption, but let's say, for example, or at that point, the paying spouse is going to say, I've only been paying $500 a month for an entire year, and my spouse has been doing fine. Never been asking for any additional money. We've been getting along fine. She can live on, or my receiving spouse can live on $500 a month. I don't want to pay anymore. Keep that in mind. Keep those issues in mind when you or your spouse are talking about or agreeing to voluntary support before there's a court order in place. Okay? I hope that was helpful. I hope that explains some points on that particular issue. Got your mind rolling if you're in fact thinking of that kind of an order or that kind of an agreement before an order is in place. If you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call at Pinkham & Associates. We always offer free initial consultations, and we'd be happy to help. Thank you very much.